There are many ways to make a floating shelf. For this design, I'll cover every aspect of production, finishing, and mounting using some store-bought brackets. Let's break down the basics. Studs in the US are generally spaced at 16 inches apart, but that number can vary. If you're mounting the shelf on drywall, you will need to screw the hardware directly into the studs. These brackets are designed in a way that results in downforce on the shelf being translated into the mounting screws. If the hardware is not mounted correctly, it will probably tear out. This particular piece will get 2 mounting holes, but you might make something that uses more brackets. It's best to find the positions of the studs in your wall before drilling into the shelf. If you are installing on brick, you can use heavy-duty wall anchors when securing the brackets. For this shelf, I use some reclaimed redwood, but any type of wood is fine. Select a piece that is an inch or thicker. The thinner it is, the harder it will be to work with. If you don't have a plater or a jointer, use a board that is clean and flat to begin with. Be sure to mount the brackets in a place that will be out of sight. Trying to get the holes perpendicular to the surface can be a challenge. If the holes are angled too much, the brackets may become stuck in the shelf during installation. A drill press and a vise is preferable here, but you could also use a hand drill and a portable drill guide for this process. If your shelf does end up getting stuck on the wall, you can always make the holes a bit wider. The drill bit I used was just long enough to make this hole. After getting it started on the press, I finished it by hand. Compressed air helped to clear the chips from the hole before checking the depth one last time. In order to get the smooth shape on the edge of these pieces, I used a fine wire buffing wheel. This replaces the need to hand sand the undulating shape of the live edge. Unfortunately, the wheel is capable of aggressively grabbing just about any material. It's a technique that requires some practice. As softer parts of the grain are removed, the harder sections around it become exposed. This process typically involves buffing from multiple directions to achieve a nice smooth surface. I did several pieces using this method and got some really interesting results. The flat sides of the shelf were sanded using 80 grit and then 180 grit sandpaper. I used the wall brackets to hold the shelf in place while painting. It was also a good way to check if the holes were straight. I used wet system epoxy, but any similar resin should work. After both parts were combined, I had about 8 ounces to work with. In the end, 6 would have been plenty for this piece. I began to work my way around the shelf starting with the edges. There were quite a few gaps to fill, and it soaked up a lot of epoxy. This was a long process, and by the time I made it to the last side, I could feel the resin starting to get more viscous. Remember to apply epoxy to your workpiece quickly. In this case, pot life was 20 minutes, but it took much longer to cure once it had been thinned out on the part. A lot of bubbles formed in the crevices. I used a heat gun to push these out of the deepest places before wiping away the excess with a squeegee. I let this layer cure for 24 hours. The focus on the second coat will be the top side. The edges got enough coverage on the first. Using 220 grit, I sanded the flat sides. On the second coat, a bit of painter's tape keeps epoxy out of the holes. Moving to the top, I got a sense of what the finish was going to look like. The first round helped to seal the surface. Sometimes the wood can release sap or air bubbles into the surface while curing. Doing 2 layers like this can reduce that effect. A few areas of the grain were still pretty thirsty. I continued to add more epoxy at these locations. You can see some of these areas at the edge of the wood. You can also see quite a few bubbles that got mixed into the resin. A propane torch is the most common way of removing these. If you don't have one, hitting the surface with a few puffs of compressed air seems to do a fine job. On the bottom, I cleaned off the drips with a squeegee. Thanks to gravity, the finish down here will get a bit wavy as it cures. To avoid this, finish only one side at a time. Another 24 hours later, the figure looks great and the finish is very clear. An application of a third coat here would take it to a mirror finish, but the second coat is good enough. The brackets installed easily, and so did the shelf. I hope this video was helpful. If you thought it was or wasn't, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos.